Good morning, you guys. How is everyone doing? I know it's early. I know I've been getting up with the birds because I have to. I've been up even earlier than this, cleaning up and getting ready to take the garbage out and got to prepare myself to get ready to go out on a situation. So I'm just gonna let you all start getting the notifications while I sit here and have a cup of coffee. Hey, Miss Shan. What's going on, girl? Hey, Chantel. How are you? How are you, Miss Girl? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to change some. Y'all doing okay this morning? Yeah, it's starting to get. I do not like the cold weather, but I said I promised myself that I'm gonna try to adapt better this year because I don't like the cold. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Make sure you guys hit the like button too. Okay, like, share, and subscribe for me, please. Okay, I see Shan, Chantel, Robert, Rita, Shantastic, Keita, Patricia. Let's see, we're gonna wait for other people. I know it's a Sunday morning and it's early. Good morning, everyone. Y'all have y'all hot tea or coffee? I'm drinking my hot coffee. I'm doing really good this morning. I'm doing really good. I wanted to talk about, I know we've been like for the last almost, well, for 3 years, really, we've been talking about, especially with one of the trials just passed, right? We've been talking about the Young Dolph situation. And of course, you know, I wanted to talk about because it's so much other stuff going on. And a lot of it, um, I would say, may have something to do with people choosing sides as it relates to what had happened. A lot of it is just, I think, with the mayhem and the murders and stuff that started happening, um, it just kind of kicked up the crime. Crime was already, hey, Miss Jacqueline, crime was already off. Girl, I love coffee. Crime was already out of control around the Memphis area. Okay. Just like it's basically when you talk to other people, they go, crime is out of control in my city too. So crime is really just out of control everywhere because poverty ignites crime. But I started thinking about, we talk about the problems all the time, but what will the ingredients to healing look like? Because there has to be some healing within our communities. And I'm not just talking about in Memphis. I know I put Memphis, hey, great face. I know I put Memphis, but there's going to have to be some healing everywhere if we're going to keep, if we're going to have another generation, right? because there is killing in every community all the way across the board, but it definitely looks horrific in the Black community, right? Um, as it relates to these young men taking each other out and just, listening to some stuff and hearing some stuff. It's like it's far from over. It is definitely far from over, you guys. If something does not happen, and I don't know what's going on with these young men, because I was talking to somebody um last week. They, I don't know if these young dudes don't care or is it just about a look, because they're consistently I don't know if a lot of these other little dudes are just on drugs and they don't care. Um these young dudes are consistently call themselves putting hits on each other, and it's really crazy. Um and then when you start talking to somebody and they're talking about a lot of these little cliques that have hits on each other, it's like, dog, you listen to Straight Drop's trial, Justin Johnson's trial, and you hear the prosecutors say that, and the defense, that the feds are out there working, right? And they are. And it's so sad that it's unfortunately these guys feel like they have something to prove. They feel like they have something to prove, and so they're ultimately going to end up either in federal prison for the rest of their life or in the grave for the rest of their life. So that's why I said I was thinking about that, and I was like, there needs to be a solution, because a lot of these little rappers that you hear that may be up under investigation or whatever, and you better know if the feds got them up under investigation, it's because they got something and they just laying on them, and they're gonna end up doing a lot of time, right? And it's so unfortunate because they're talented. They could really, if they put in the work and the time and be patient, they could really go far. Says, good morning, Tamara. Crime does equal poverty, but what does poverty equal? Crime. Poverty ignites crime. So they're both mother and father. They both they're blood related, right there together. Poverty ignites crime. And that is what is going on. That's why I say there has to be, people got to get serious about ingredients. My dad used to always say, okay, it's good to bring the problem up, but we can't just talk consistently about the problem if we cannot come up with some type of solution, right? And so there has to be a solution, and it has to start with, how do we start with ensuring that these guys don't, and young girls don't even, it starts with making sure that they don't even take money if they are um propositioned to do a hit. It starts there. Absolutely no. Just like you say, just say no. We should start with that to ensure that people don't even feel comfortable enough, regardless of how much money they have. They don't even feel comfortable enough to ask these young kids or these young adults or young teenagers to go and commit a hit. And if they do, if they are sick enough to try to dangle money in their face to ask them to go and commit a hit, then it is our jobs to ensure that some type of ingredients have been instilled on the inside of them so that they can say the right things and make the right decisions, right? And so that would mean that it has to start at home. And so I hear people talk about counseling and stuff all the time, and that's cool. The counseling and stuff could be cool, but what good is it to counsel a child for an hour a week and then he has to go right back to the toxicity of the environment that he is in 24/7, right? If he has a toxic parent, if he has a toxic um you know, family members, whoever it is, they're in that toxicity most people are a product of their environment, right? So it has to start there. I know we look at the politicians, and we should, because what we do is we put politicians in place so that they can utilize funds that come in. People don't even look into or know how much money comes into the urban communities, and it is a lot, but we don't look into how those funds are being allocated and things of that nature. You know, I think about Grove Hero. Grove Hero takes a lot of his money and do what the politicians are supposed to be doing as far as putting money back into the communities. These are funds that come in from the government that they're supposed to be allocating, but we do not know if they're misappropriating them or not, because we don't look into that. And so that's why you always hear me start getting into we got to change our mindset, because we get caught all up in stuff that ain't even got nothing to do with us. Who coding who, and how many did they screw this person or screw that person? You know, we get worried. We worry about the wrong things instead of our environment that directly affects us and our children, right? So that's why I say there has to immediately be some ingredients, and more. There are more single parent households where mothers are raising their children by themselves. So mothers have to be extremely meticulous about who they decide to allow around their kids, right? I've never been one for, I never liked it about, especially single mothers bringing, a lot of different boyfriends and stuff around their kids, because it starts early on, bringing a lot of, and then their kids calling them daddy. This your daddy. They got a new daddy every 6 months, right? I told you all one of the reasons why I'm so sensitive is because as it relates to a lot of these young men, is because when I was working for the sheriff's office, the chief used to allow me to go over to jailies at the time. That's where they were housing the juveniles and counsel with them. And so when I would counsel with those young men one on one, they were in the jail east facility because they had committed felonies. And so I would go over there and talk to them. I would pull them to the side one on one. And because I'm a mother, I know kids can be manipulative. And I'm talking about these kids were in there for committing felonies because they had to keep them separated from the population, because they were underage, from 9 years old all the way on up to 17 years old. And so once I started looking at talking to them, pulling them to the side, getting them away from each other, talking to them, it all went back to their home. And because I know that kids can be manipulative, when I would leave, when I would get back to work the next day, I would call over to dispatch, and I would say, I would look up their addresses and stuff, and I would have dispatch to send me a history on how many times the police had been out to their address, right? And sure enough, those kids were telling the truth. You start looking at the history of of dispatch, is nothing but domestic disturbances, like those kids were telling me every Friday. I had one child to tell me, and he was talented as he could be, and you could tell, it's so sad. You could tell that he had grown up around really, he said his grandfathers and them were preachers, and I could tell by the way he talked that that child had the ingredients to be a minister, to be a leader. He was really crafty. He was good with his hands. He could draw really, really good, just do it organically, right? They used him to draw the sheriff's star, and he would look at the star and they would get him and he would just do it without tracing or anything, right? Just that talented. But he talked about how he hated for the weekends to come, because, and he was in there for committing a felony robbery. He was about 15 or 16 years old. He said, but I hated the weekends because I've been hating the weekends since I was a little boy, because my dad get paid, and when he come home on Fridays, he wanted to beat up my mama, and I was a little boy. Wasn't nothing I could do about it. So I was just angry. So, like I said, because I know kids can be manipulative, I would go and spot check that stuff. And he was telling the truth. The police was out at his house every single Friday and Saturday and Sunday. I don't know why his daddy. Sometimes his daddy would go to. They would take his daddy to jail if he didn't run off. But his mama was calling the police every weekend because his daddy was putting his hands on his mama, and he said that caused a lot of anger because he couldn't do. He was too little to even help his mama fight. And so that's why I say kids are a product of their environment. It has to start within. We gotta, hey, I know it takes a village and we gotta do what we can, but unfortunately now we're not taking care of the pedos. We people are, we're scared to get any a village involved because people think that the worst thing you could do now is snitch. So they allow the pedos, the men say that want to be the leaders, and we don't need the police, but we ain't snitching. No, you letting the pedo just walk around the neighborhood. So you have to be very meticulous about the village that you allow to get involved, because ain't no pedo supposed to be able to walk around a neighborhood comfortably that your children or anybody's kids are walking to and fro from. It ain't even supposed to happen. The street dudes or the OGs ain't even supposed to make him feel comfortable enough to come and even stand on a corner with him and chat and smoke. Why they want to smoke and drink with him? There's something wrong with that, right? So that's why I say we need to start looking at the healing ingredients. And the healing ingredients, it's going to take a lot because there's a lot going on around the Memphis area. And it's a lot going on around a lot of the areas. I'm talking about outside of Memphis. But it's so much mayhem that is ridiculous. And it's so sad because just from what I was told, it ain't even nearly over. These dudes ain't trying to even slow down. Right? They ain't even trying to slow down. They constantly trying to plot hits and stuff every day. It's a damn shame when you call yourself plotting a hit and the folks listening to you. So what happens is that now you got a lot of young fathers because they too stupid to stop. You got a lot of young fathers who have signed themselves up because they think they're gonna be plotting hits. That have really signed themselves up to go away for the rest of their lives, right? And so that's why I say, even with my daughters being grown, nobody is supposed to be a bigger influencer of them. Nearly 70% of crimes is over their Johnson. You said nearly 70% of crimes is over their Johnson? Um, Daryl says now it's only high profile juveniles that are housed at Jail East. Samuel says, good morning. Good morning, Samuel. So 70% is over their crimes. Right. So that's why I say something. What are the ingredients now? Because now what we have to do is we have to come together because everybody is directly affected by this, and it ain't not just in Memphis but everywhere. Because we're losing young people everywhere to ensure something like this does not happen anymore. Right. Um, not just with with young Dolph, right? What happened to young Dolph, that's a tragedy. We use that as an example because for $1 million man to lose his life over $800, even if it had been $800,000, his life is irreplaceable, right? His life is irreplaceable. If Cornelius had gotten his hands on $800,000, I can assure you he would have been found somewhere overdosed within a week. Okay, he never would have made it to trial because he would have been somewhere overdosed, right? So we need healing ingredients, especially around the Memphis area. Um, because that is one of the areas that hey, I see. I'm directly like I'm in New York. These boys need things to do like trade schools. They need mentors for absolutely. I agree. You know what's so hurtful to me is that, down through the years, and it's still the same. Okay. And I'm kind of watching the politicians now to see if things are going to change. I have to say, I always knew with Paul Young and them are good people. Even, when I was going to their church and stuff, even way before it was even thought of for him to be a preacher, they believed in doing job fairs, helping people with jobs. Paul and his sister and them always had top positions. And so they immediately, because they were always directors of something as it relates to the city, his mother and his father and them always believed in helping people to get jobs. I don't think people give them their credit because there was a time where, especially as it relates to the city and county jobs, there was a lot of nepotism. So you were not getting in if you didn't know anybody. But Paul Young, Pastor Diane, and Bishop Young, they were very instrumental in making sure that if you had the some type of skill, that you got a good government job. They would always have hundreds of people. They would put it on the radio and come out and have a lot of the leaders out there so that to show people how to fill out applications and things of that nature. They always did that, right? And hey, even now, Paul Young is very approachable. I always say what we have to do is organize because we got to know what to ask for, right? People don't know they know that there is a need, but they don't know exactly what it is you need unless we get together and organize and know exactly what to ask for, right? Because there's a lot of poverty within our communities, right? But yeah, but what's so devastating to me is down through the years, we of course, this is before I ever even got into politics. My dad just started teaching me about politics all of 11, 12 years ago, right? How we just passively how people before us just kind of passively allowed them to take VOTEC and technical schools and stuff out of schools, right? And that is because, like I was saying, even when I was in junior high school, they started out teaching those dudes. They would be around there auto mechanic. They would be around there already teaching them how to work on cars. So it started in junior high school. And then when they got to high school, they had auto mechanic. By the time they got to high school, because they started out in the eighth grade, I think you could take auto mechanics started in the eighth grade. By the time you got to high school, you had guys, guys that was making a lot of money because they knew how to change their mom and daddies and them oil people. That's how they made extra money on the side. And then, because as I always say, college ain't for everybody. They don't want to go and accrue all of those loan fees. You know what I mean? They go straight to technical school, get their certification, but they was already getting it by the time they got out of high school. So they was going straight into business. So I believe that was a strategy, in my opinion, to start stripping generational wealth of some kind, right? You start taking VOTEC out and taking these technical schools away, because a lot of them used to get on the bus and go to VOTEC and learn a trade, right? So you start stripping that away and ensure that if they want to do that, they go to college. So now you go to college and you in some type of debt when they was already teaching that in high school. So by the time you graduated from high school, you was able to go maybe get a certificate or something and go straight into business of your very own. Right? That is what was happening. Carpentry, they made you think that, carpentry is for the bottom feeders. When we see a whole lot of people, carpentry used to be a job that a lot of black men got rich off of doing, right? But now we don't see that in our communities anymore. But it's still a lot of people getting rich off of doing it. It just ain't black folks no more, right? So I think what they teach the black community is you go straight to college so that you can accrue all those loan fees and stay in debt as it relates to loan, and then strip away the technical schools, strip away, because if they offer auto mechanic in junior high school, you might have somebody go, I might want to try that. and you start trying auto mechanic and working on cars, you might like it. So if you start in the 8th grade, by the time that you graduate in the 12th grade, you're almost a professional. So when you graduate, you're able to go and get some type of certificate for 6 months after you graduate high school, and then go work up under somebody else maybe for a year, and then start opening up your own stuff. And that's what was happening. I don't see people going and getting their certificates in HVAC or whatever. A lot of men can get wealthy doing that. But unfortunately, that is just not promoted. With HVAC being um I think that should be offered in high school. But unfortunately, I don't think that we're strategizing enough to make demands, as it relates to stuff like this. What we have to do is tell politicians what we want. I don't believe in a politician telling me what I need. You can't tell me what I need because I know what I need, right? Our communities, we know what it is that we need, but we wait for people to tell us, well, this is what I'm gonna do for you, instead of having our agenda already written out, right? And saying, this is what we need. Can you deliver this? Because if you can't, then we'll catch you on the back end. Okay. We'll catch, as my dad used to say, I tell you what, I'll catch up with you another time. That's how he used to do it. I tell you what, when a person couldn't deliver what he wanted, he would just say, I tell you what, I'll catch up with you another time. Okay. But I got to move on to something else. But I catch up with you another time. We might be able to meet up again. And he'd move on to somebody else that could fulfill his agenda, right? That happened in my city too. I got good friends that does HVAC for St. Jude, and yeah, they make good money. I work HR. We pay $1,000 a year for this position, or $100,000. Oh wow, wow. Mm. I tell you. So this is the stuff that, that's why I say there needs to be healing, because if we don't get together and start working to demand that jobs are put into our community, and I'm not talking about jobs that come from temporary services. Okay. I've always said that, and I know a lot of people are getting into getting temporary services. Okay. But hey, I think there should be a stipulation as it relates to temporary services. What they're doing is it's a slave trade. Okay, so what they do is they're taking advantage of the African American workers, so that they don't have to pay them benefits and all of that. That's why I say, hello, joke free. That's why I say it is very, hey, Miss Diane and Ashley, it is very important that we pay close attention to our politicians, regardless to what their race is. We don't just get comfortable with a politician because they look like us, right? So if they're talking about, well, I brought some jobs in, okay, but you got a temporary service sitting up in there. So what good is that to the people when you're stripping them of benefits and everything that comes with their job? You paying them 14, 13, $14 an hour. Can't no damn body survive off no 13 or $14 an hour now, when the job is actually starting off paying 23, $24 an hour. And you work with that company because you getting something up under the table to bring in a temporary service so that they can treat the people like slaves, and then stand in front of the TV cameras and say, I helped to bring up they just hired 400 folks. So if we start strategizing, we can start holding people feet to the fire. We don't want no damn temporary service, because if you bring in a job, and I don't care how many people they employ, if they bring in a temporary service, then you won't be elected when your term come up again. Who's over this project? Is it you, councilman such and such? If they bring in a temporary service, then you got the power to ensure that that don't happen. Because when these jobs come in, it is the city officials that work out them contracts and those terms. They can't just come and set up in the city. They behind the scenes set up and work up out country the terms of them coming. Okay, one of the terms is y'all can't bring no temporary service up in here. The people gonna work hard for you. You gonna bring in jobs. Then hey, if they do bring in a temporary service after 6 months, then they need to be hired permanently. If they have because they try to say we bring in temporary service because they do the background checks. They could, I mean, they ain't got to have no temporary service to do that. Okay, well, here are the terms and the agreements. Then after 6 months of them, 6 to 9 months, no longer than 9 months of them coming to work and being an exceptional employee, because that's how it's supposed to be anyways. And ain't no games gonna be played, then they gotta be hired. But what happens is they bring people in seasonally, they work them for 9 months because after I believe 10 months, if you work by law, I believe if you work an employee for what 11 months or something like that, you have to hire them permanently. So what they do is they lay them off for a month and then start them all over again. And they are allowing things of this nature to happen. Okay. Rainbow. Rainbow. Hold on, y'all. Okay. When they start making them moaning noises, y'all know I have to make sure everything okay. Um, Ashley says we have to continue to encourage our people to get skilled degrees and trades and keep building on our right, keep building on your skills, right? And in the meantime, if we're divided, we cannot come together and make demands, right? As it relates to, he says, that dude says in Texas is 3 months. Okay. So basically, really, they really just don't need to have, so that can't no games be played. They really just don't need to bring in no temporary services. They can say that when these jobs come and start building in the city, they have to get with the city officials, and that can be demanded. Okay, you want a tax break? They're giving them tax breaks and shit. They're getting all types of tax breaks, taking advantage. Everybody take advantage of Memphis and Shelby County. I don't mean no harm. They takes advantage of Memphis and Shelby County because there have been politicians in the past. They give them all these tax breaks, but you giving them tax breaks like that, but then you gonna let them bring in a temporary service because they giving them a kickback up on you. Let us bring in a temporary service. It could be in a temporary service. Go get your daughter and stuff to set up a temporary service. We'll let y'all bring that in as long as we don't have to pay them the full benefits and give you a kickback up under the table, as long as we don't have to pay them the full benefits and all of that. And unfortunately, you have politicians that do it, black or white. Don't think because Memphis has majority black politicians. There are some good ones, but I'm gonna tell you now, there are black ones. My dad had always taught me, you got to be real careful about when they start propping black politicians up, because a black politician, if they ain't right, can do way more damage than any white politician ever could, because they can get away with stuff that a white politician couldn't get away with. So that's why I say we have to start focusing on that. And so when we're sitting up talking about, well, the police need to do this and that, what we fail to forget is a lot of these teenagers and these kids are coming up there in our household. Ain't no police officer, and if so, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, should have more control of your damn child than you. I don't want nobody having more control of my minor child than me. And so we kind of push out, unfortunately, in our community, and we don't like to have these types of conversations. We just kind of push out all of the responsibility. Well, the police won't make my child come in the house. I would feel a certain type of way if I was looking for the police every night to make my child come in. I told y'all that one of my friends that is over the auto task force, right, was telling me that his guys went into a house in East Memphis, and he says, Tamara, it was a teenage boy, and they did a bust on the house. And he said when we went into his room, his door was open, and he had about 200, almost 200 key fobs sitting right out on his dresser, just right out on his dresser with different IDs, with different, a whole lot of different bill folders. Because when they were stealing these, jumping in these folks' cars, their wallets and stuff would be in there. They was robbing folks. I mean, he said it wasn't. He didn't have it hidden. It was sitting right out on his dresser. His door wasn't locked or nothing. He said when we asked his mother, when she was like, why y'all in my house and this and that, and he was like, don't you see? I didn't know it was right there. I didn't see that. So you trying to tell me as a mother, your son got almost 200 key fobs that have been stolen with different IDs just laid out on his dresser with different wallets, and you didn't know? You trying to tell me a house that you paying bills in, you don't walk into his room? Because my kids was never allowed. Okay, even when my daughters decide they want to come and stay with me, sometimes they don't have no doors locked. That's this is mine. I don't allow doors to be locked in my house unless it's me. Okay, so you trying to tell me that these mothers don't know what their teenage sons doing? They only start hollering and screaming and slobbing and spitting and shit when they go up into somebody's house and they blow their damn back out. Well, he was a teenager. His back was turned. That's the thing they use now. I want the person who shot him, who house he went in to be arrested. His back was turned. They shot him in the back. He going up in them folks' house, robbing them folks, and think he gonna run out, and they shoot him in the back. I want them charged. They shot him in the back. Instead of saying what could I have done as a parent? Why didn't I nip this in the bud? Because see, if your 16-year-old son is out past maybe 9 o'clock because he's still in school, then that's a problem. Why is your child out? This is stuff that we don't deal with because we like to outsource all of the blame. Because as my dad used to say, when we start outsourcing the blame, that means we ain't got to deal with nothing. This shit gonna have to be dealt with. Why is your 16-year-old son out at 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning? Let's deal with that. But if we deal with that, that means you got to take responsibility, and we don't want to take no responsibility. Your 16-year-old child, you ought to be put in jail for him being out. Instead of saying, how come the police don't make my son come in the house? They ain't doing their job because it's a curfew. How the hell you expect for a police officer to make your 16-year-old come in? You supposed to have more control over them than the damn police. That ain't none of their child. And so I always get mad at, when I start seeing folks, people try to say, well, she just had love them police. Well, I am pro police when because we can't live in a lawless society. Not the ones that's wrong. The ones that's dirty, then they need to be off the force, but we can't even get together and do that right. We want to get them out the force because my son's supposed to be able to stand on the corner and sell drugs so he can pay my light bill. Y'all trying to tell me we got to deal with that, y'all. We do. We got to deal with it. These folks know what their children are doing, but they ain't trying to reel them in because they benefiting from it. Don't nobody want to talk about that. They benefiting from it. He's standing on the corner all day. You know your damn child when you ride past that corner and see him standing up there that he ain't going to school, that he's standing up there selling dope. You already know it, but you benefiting. You know he burglarizing all the houses in the neighborhood. You ain't got no issues with it because when he go up in them folks' house and get their jewelry and shit, he bringing you the jewelry back. You know he ain't hitting a lick at a snake. He ain't got no job. When he pull up in your driveway with a car and say, "Mama, let me pull your car out and let me put this car up under the garage," you already know he in a chop shop ring. This tells me that regardless to whatever car they stealing, now I just had somebody to tell me this to work for the PD. He said, "Tamara, whatever car they steal, whether it's spanking brand new or not, they got somebody at the car dealership working with them, which is why they know exactly where to go to steal these cars. They're giving them their address." Okay. He said, so now we've had to regroup. That's what we're tackling now. The people that's got the information to give them to go get the cars, so they don't know who buy cars. So that's why when you walk out, they sending them to steal. You get a brand new car, they giving them the information to go, and you walk outside and your car sitting on the ground to steal your spanking brand new factory tires back to take it right back to the dealership. That's what's going on. But these women already know, these parents already know when their kids pull up, they ain't even got no driver's license. Why they got a Maserati? Why you letting him hide it up under your garage when he said, "Mama, pull your car out. I need to put this car up under your garage." Why aren't you questioning your damn child then? But people have issues with me because I say this stuff got to be dealt with because we like to outsource the blame. What they gonna do for us? What they gonna give us? Why we got to always be the communities that's looking out for somebody to come in and give us something and fix something? Where if it's starting your damn household, you fix that. A lot of this stuff we wouldn't have to deal with, right? Fix what's in your household first. These leaders are growing up. These kids are supposed to be the future leaders. They're growing up in your household. But we turn the blind eye because we benefiting until somebody pop him in the head. Junebug was a good boy. Junebug ain't never did nothing but rob, set folks up, steal cars, and all of that. And she's saying he got a good heart. He took care of his family because he put a lot of other people in distress by going and robbing and stealing their stuff and bringing her the money back. And she said he was a good child and they didn't have to kill my child. When lady, you are the reason for your child's death because you didn't stop it and you knew it was going on. Right. And so we talk about the fathers and yeah, they don't get by. Fathers need to be in their kids' lives, but ladies, we're gonna have to start. I always say, start choosing the men that you had these kids with wisely. Okay, start choosing wisely who you had these kids with. You knew his whole damn family was crazy and had mental illnesses because you grew up on the same street with him. Why you go and let him? Why you go and continue that legacy of that crazy seed? See, a lot of this stuff is just irresponsibility. People don't want to deal with that though, and they have issues with people that bring that up, right? They have issues with, when people bring that up. Yeah, I do private investigative work, and I can't tell y'all how many times I've had women to call me, and it's almost I have secondhand embarrassment. That I try to put child support on him. Well, juvenile court got the same systems I got. They can find him. Well, they said they can't find him. I started when they say that. I said, "Lord Jesus, okay, what kind of all right? Well, why juvenile court can't find him? That's the government. They got the same systems I got. I make sure I had the same systems the government had. Okay, and so well they get to talking. Well, I had know that, he had lived on Trig. His family lived on Trig and Lauderdale. What's his name? Well, he got a sister named Lil Riri. What's his name? Well, they had called him Rufus. What's Rufus' last name? See, that's the irresponsibility of it. They don't even know the kids' daddy's names. I'm not exaggerating. It's the God's truth. How irresponsible is that? You got a whole child with somebody and you want to put child support on him because he don't even know you. He barely know. I know his family cause I'm cool. I'm real cool with his sister. Yeah, but what's his name? So now I see why juvenile court can't find him. Because they can't find a damn man that you got a baby with and you don't even know his name. And so y'all, it's something wrong with that. Stuff like that is not being dealt with. You laying with men and you don't even know their damn last name. All you know is a moniker, and that is what they call him. His cousin won't tell me his name. No, she ain't gonna tell you because she think you a hoe too. Her loyalty is to Lil Rufus. That's her cousin. And so that's why I say it has to start inward. There has to be some better decisions made. It's got to be some better decisions made. How sad is that? And you talking about the anger of your kids growing up knowing that the mother didn't even know her daddy name. She just knew that she was cool with his cousin and he and his family live on Trigg and Lauderdale. Ain't that some shit? And you don't went and had a whole person with somebody that you don't even know. So that's why I say it has to start inward. We got to start dealing with these flaws in our community. We ain't got to look on the outside for somebody. We always look at what they gonna give us. No, we need to start cleaning up what's going on that we are brushing over. Because everybody want a titty in their mouth. Yeah, I know, that they went in there and killed all them folks, but God forgave them and you should forgive them too. Now, nigga, you gonna have to deal with that. People want to do stuff, use God when it's convenient, okay, and not have to deal with their character flaws. It's too many character flaws within our community. And you know what's so sad? A community that God gifted with all of the gifts: singing, beauty, um, crafty with our hands, talented all the way across the board. And we can't even unite and deal with our character flaws to create some generational wealth, okay, in our community. Green Ranger says women want good men to clean up the mess after they get ran through over and over again by Pookies and Ray Rays. Okay. And vice versa, Green Ranger. The men too. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. And so that's why if you know somebody been ran through over and over again, these men got to start making better decisions. You knew she had 7 kids. If you don't want a woman with 7 kids, don't be going over there messing with her because she got good head and get 8. I ain't never want her. I can't stand for no man to say I ain't want her anyways. Well, why you had your ass up there and over there around Trigg where she lived at? Why was you up there getting number 8? So that says a lot about you. See, as women, we can control that. Because I don't deal with men that talk bad about women that they have messed with. Because it tells me a lot about him. Well, I ain't like her because she was this and she didn't clean up her house. And how long was you with her for? You got kids with her? Yeah. What motherfucker? Then well, it ain't really much more we could talk about because that tells me everything about you. She didn't clean up her house. She nasty. You say she got roaches, but but you was living with her for a little while, and you say she screwed all your friends. What I want with you? You ain't no better. Cause a man that's got some class, he gonna pass. He gonna pass on it. I don't care how good they say that coochie is or their head is. He gonna pass on it. Okay. So we got to start dealing. What are the ingredients? Right? What are the ingredients? Because there are too many flaws. Y'all know I'm from South Memphis. I grew up in South Memphis, so I don't. Y'all know how I do it. Okay, I be getting proper sometimes. Getting proper sometimes. Listen, my friends be listen. My friends my cousins and stuff that grew up with me. They be checking me. Listen, I called one of my cousins. She's straight up from off of Bulletin up there in South Memphis. I called her the other day. I said, she said, hello. I said, may I speak with Tamika? This is she. I said, Mika, that's you, bitch. That's you? What? This is me. I said, look at this girl. That's you for real? I mean, honey, she done went and got her office job. She done got, look at this shit. I didn't even know who she was sounding like a white woman. I always did nothing but fight and shit, but but they always check me. They would check me. Um, I didn't know who she was. This is me. This is me. I said, look at that shit. Sound like a white woman. I'm gonna tell y'all something that's really funny. I called one of my friends the other day. Y'all know y'all know Sergeant Dabney that was on the stand in Straight Drops trial. When I looked at Dabney, now I had not seen Dabney in a while because Dabney and I and we all used to work together. And Dabney was so cool. Dabney was straight up out the hood. Y'all heard him say where he was from South Memphis. And so I called one of my friends. I said, that looks like Dabney, but because he had grown some hair on his face and stuff. I said, but Dabney always had he had a hood voice, and I said, but this man sounds like a white man. And I said, I know it's Dabney. If that's he says that Terrence. I said, it's Terrence Dabney. He said, well, that was the only Terrence Dabney on the department. I said, but when he opened his mouth, he sounded like a white man. He hollered. He said, I said, remember Dabney he was from straight up South Memphis, and he had a raspy voice. He said he still got it. He just got to talk white while he on the stand. I hollered. Or proper. That ain't talking proper, ain't talking white. It's good to pronounce your words and stuff right, because we got them lazy tongues. I be forgetting. I get so comfortable with y'all sometimes. I kind of forget and start talking with like I be talking with my family. That lazy tongue. um the Green Ranger said, y'all be really good at hiding and flags and certain signs. Then by the time we know we in too deep because y'all done drowned us with that good stuff. Well, hey, men are good at hiding stuff too. Men good at hiding, that they're psychopaths. That's why, when they get to asking women, a woman, you've been with him for 10 years. That's just a woman that don't pay attention. Because I pays attention to stuff. I pay very close attention to stuff because I just don't want to deal with nothing crazy. But men are really good at hiding that they're psychopaths. um, but anyway, y'all, it's gonna what do the ingredients, right? Memphis need healing ingredients immediately. And what does that look like? What does it look like? Because if we don't hurry up and do something, he said you all ignore the signs because the man paid for everything and he's so polite, but it's way more. Yeah, this. Well, I mean, but here's the thing though, the Green Ranger, I grew up around men that were provided. So I mean, it's not, I don't get like all up in arms like when a man, women. I'm gonna tell you something. You have women now. It's so sad. A man buying them Jack Purtle's chicken. Oh, girl, well, marry him. And they pulled up at the Jack Purtle's, and he done bought her a box of chicken, and she gone. Girl, he just a good man. They giving up ass for Jack Purtle's chicken. He better not put no gravy on them damn fries. She done let him move in and give him everything. He and he done borrowed the money from her to buy the damn chicken and with the gravy on the fries. Okay, these girls giving up ass for Jack Purtle's chicken. because a man is buying Jack Purtle's chicken and they ain't used to that. I came from an era where I saw my dad and them paid all the bills. Okay. I grew up in the hood. Okay. So I dated hood guys, and they were in, they took care of their women. They weren't gonna dare eat off no woman. It made them feel less than a man. My cousins and them are still they street dudes. And they got their women, they keep their women, the ones that their main women, they keep them out the way. They got them put up, they take care of them. And the ones that they mess around with too. They don't want no woman taking care of them. It makes them feel less than a man. Not unless he handicapped. Then that's when your woman step in to be your helpmate. But these young women don't understand that because these men are not unfortunately, these young men are not being taught that a man is the leader of his household and you can't lead if she the one taking care of you. A man is to protect and to provide. That's how it always was. Ain't no woman gonna respect you if she got to take care of you now, if you ain't handicapped. It's a difference if you married and your husband say, "Look here, baby. Um, I'm trying to do this, this, and that." It's women when you get to talking about something a little different, baby. I need you to go ahead and start helping me because I got something going on. I'm gonna be a little short on this, and okay, all right. I ain't got no issues there, But when things start changing up now, and he coming up a little short, we start looking into stuff to make sure he ain't got no family nowhere else. Okay, this motherfucker been paying the bills the whole time. Why he short? Ain't got no problem with it, but we just got to make sure that things are being allocated right, and it ain't going into another household. Okay, as women, we start looking. Okay, he ain't got no other woman. Okay, yeah, all right, baby, I ain't got no problems with that because I walks beside my damn man. Okay, baby, I'm doing this on the side, but I kind of want to get into making it a business and working full time doing it. What you think about that? I think I'm getting ready to start helping you with the leg work to make sure you can work that thing full time because that helps my household. I got enough confidence in my husband or my husband. Cause see, these women be building up men that ain't even thought enough to marry them in 4, 5, 6, 7 years, I guess, so he can go marry another woman. Hell no. Make her pay what she will. Oh Lord, Cypress. That's not how it's supposed to be. Yeah, everything is out of order now because a lot of unfortunately, these young men don't have fathers that are teaching them what their role is. They're not teaching them what their role is. And then women are getting too desperate. You take a man and you let him move into your house and you put him up and you go to work every morning. Girl, what he do for you? And girl, he got some good dick. Well, you can get good dick from any man. I mean, that's gone, and he'll be taking care of you. It's even better when he's a man that he's the man that he's supposed to be. When he a leader, that thing be good. It be better when he a leader. When he the strong leader that he's supposed to be. Make you want to bounce. Lord, stop me, because y'all know I can get nasty. Okay. But there needs to be some healing immediately. What do healing ingredients look like in our community, you guys? What does it look like? He says, outside of Oprah, the richest woman in the world are women. And now, a lot of women take care of themselves, and they don't have to be rich. A lot of women take care of themselves. There are a lot of women who have gone to school and became doctors and lawyers and has never been married. We see so many female doctors and lawyers and business owners ain't never had a husband. Okay, never had a husband. There's a lot of women take care of themselves right now and they don't want for anything. They might not be rich, but they don't want for nothing. They take real good care of themselves and they've never had a husband. Um, he says, I slept good. Cypress said he slept good. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? They don't want for anything. He says women need to stop saying that. I mean, but what are they supposed to say though? Brand says, just because you don't got a husband don't mean you don't got a man. That's true, Brand. Absolutely right. We're grown man. Right. But Green Ranger, you just said that women can't take care of themselves unless they got a man. That's what you said. You were the one that said that women cannot take care of themselves. The only time a woman can take care of themselves is if they've got it from a man. That's what you just said, basically. You guys, make sure y'all hit that like button for me, okay? Make sure you guys hit the like button for me. If you all haven't subscribed, yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Hold on, let me heat my coffee back up because that cold. Damn it, my coffee got cold. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Please like, share, and subscribe. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Make sure you guys hit the like button for me. Like, share, and subscribe. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. You guys, make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Okay? But with so much mayhem with the games, you guys, Memphis need healing ingredients. And that's why I say that what does that look like? At some point we got to sit around and we got to decide, right? But it has to start inward. It has to start inward. It starts inward and goes outward, you guys. It starts inward and goes outward. And when I say that it starts inward and goes outward, that means that we have to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do as it relates to our household, right? As it relates to making sure that we raise our children, men are going to have to be start being role models to their sons and their daughters, because they will put all of the blame, and I can put the blame at the women's feet. And I say that all the time. Women got to start choosing better as it relates to who they have these kids with. But we cannot negate just because a man has a child with a woman and he has no affection for that woman, he still went and put that baby inside of that woman. These men are going to have to start stepping up to the plate, more men, and taking care of their children and being role models for their children, right? Because no OG is supposed to have more influence on your son than you, right? He says, I see a lot of relationships, and these people supposed to be couples goals, but it's more like two people competing against each other while they're together, not be. Well, that's true. People don't get, people are not together. Unfortunately, people are not together anymore for love, for affection, or anything like that. It's just for, um, it's just because they need each other. That's it. It's just for selfish gain and selfish reasons. That's true, wonderfully blessed. You can't heal what you won't acknowledge as a problem. I absolutely 100% agree. Because see, what has to stop happening is I understand as women we all make bad decisions. Because I have some children. I was never married. I could have made some better choices as it relates to that. I was a lot younger, but I could have still made some better choices. Okay, but if it wasn't for the mothers, then these kids wouldn't eat. They wouldn't have supper on the table, because even though she made those bad decisions, okay, she is the primary supporter. She's the one feeding that child. Okay, so like I said, there just has to be a meeting of the mind, and we got to stop giving giving more one parent more slack than the other when it is equally their fault. Even though she is the custodial parent, more than likely she's probably, it takes about, when you have children and stuff, it might take about 2 or 3 jobs to provide. So at some point people gonna have to grow up and start being adults, make better decisions both ways with who you have your children with. If you know you don't want to be with a person, you ain't even really got no business laying up with them like that. Okay. He says we've all made bad choices growing up, young, learning the whole thing is taking that experience, not doing it again, and using that knowledge and wisdom, passing it on so somebody else don't do it. I that's what I agree. And that's why I say it has to start inward and go outward. We have to start with our own children, right? We have to start with our own children. Anyways, you guys, I had wanted to jump on this morning um to talk about, there's so much, yeah, it's so much stuff going on. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. I have to say, with as much stuff as it is that's going on that we see, it's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't see. And it's so unfortunate because you would think that these young guys would know better. You would think that they would know better. You would think that they would pipe all the way down. But it's so much stuff. It's gonna be so many more of these little guys in, go to jail. And I'm talking about they are going to federal prison. The feds are gonna indict a lot of these dudes. And it ain't got nothing to do with the young dogs case. I'm talking about them folks. They just out there working. And they've been working. And it's so sad because quite a few of them are just so talented. I really hate to see it happen. But it ain't nothing that can be done about it because They already they've already been doing a whole lot. I didn't know, I really did not know all this stuff was going on. I knew it was bad. I just didn't know it was this bad. He says, my son's birthday coming up next weekend. Lord, I ain't even put no number up. Somebody calling in. Hey, this is Tamara. Hello? What's up with you? What's going on? I see you over the whole thing going on over here. You said you see me doing what now? I couldn't hear you. I said, yeah, we're promoting marriage on Sunday morning. Yeah, that's what we promote. Healthy marriages, though. Don't just marry a pair of pants. Yeah, marriage and pimping, man. No, not no marriage and pimping. Men are not supposed to be trying to pimp women. That's I'm gonna tell you something. That's one of the bad. That's one of the bad karmas that men put on themselves in the atmosphere. That's the reason why it seems like a pimp can't catch a break because he out there pimping what's supposed to be precious to him. And most women that are weak minded allow themselves to be pimped. You in order to be allowing yourself to self to be pimped. That means that you've gone through something that's got you unstable. But for a pimp to take advantage of their weakness, that's the reasons why, they can't even hardly keep damn perms and shit for their damn nap ass heads. They can't catch a break. Before you know it, he's somewhere sick and uncroaked over because he creating a lot of bad karma. Women are the blessing. Yeah, some women are the blessing. Some of y'all, I don't know, don't press y'all. We ain't gonna tell this law Sunday morning. Oh Lord. Yeah. So what you think is gonna take? What does the healing ingredients look like for Memphis? A different male that can all y'all felt one type curves and I don't know. It's gonna take people to curve, man. They don't have to invest money into these neighborhoods, but I think it's a little bit too late. Why you say it's too late? All the mayhem and kicked off, these young niggas ain't listening until they get a life sentence. That's so true. You ain't lying about that now. These parents can't know what these kids. Oh, that's the way the government has it designed. We're gonna give you this. You can't whoop your child real quick start on it. Therefore, that's plan to get a life sentence and we can tell them what to do they die. And do free labor. And do free labor. Yeah, right. That's where the money. Mm-hmm. That's when they in jail. They do free labor for the government. They getting paid hands over fist for you to do free labor and die. You could have been out on the street making plenty of money. Mm-hmm. But they don't learn. But they sitting up taking each other out and going to jail about nothing. It's sad. Some of these parents don't make it no better because they on the internet promoting this and putting this until their kids can find a damn town in the church now is the process, man. They crying. No, hey, other times you want to see promote this. Mm-hmm. I agree. It's all cool when go change the gang. See, it ain't no more. No, because it's hard for me to believe that these parents don't know what their kids are doing. They do know what they're doing. They know when they pull up in these stolen cars that they haven't gone to a car lot and bought a car. Why is she allowing him to park a car in her driveway? Man, shit. You know if you live in a green vibration, you see damn thing that you don't even. It's true. Mm-mm-mm.
you do got a nice car, get what? You gonna make sure your car and rim cost way more than everything you living in.
Ain't that a shame?
Rim about $10,000 and you living in corner business some damn way. What happened to that thing?
Yeah, I'm tell you what's so sad is that when you go into the hoods, you see houses, a lot of these houses they may have inherited from their grandparents or whatever. All you got to do is keep the houses up. But you go into the hoods and you see a house that need a roofing over it, you liably drive down the street and can see through the whole damn house because the roof got a big hole in it. So you can see them sitting in the house from the roof. Okay. Yeah, you can see in the house from the damn hole in the roof. The roof so big, you looking at them sitting in their damn house in laying in bed. But sitting out in the driveway, they got about 60, 70, $80,000 worth of merchandise parked in their driveway. hmm Well, when the insurance company send them the check, they spend it at the casino.
Right. I ain't going. They boyfriend want to flip. They gonna flip.
I honestly thought that women had, because it's been going on since I can remember, since I was a little girl, that these men came around during income tax time talking about they gonna flip these girls' money and they run off with the money. That's the oldest trick in the book since I was a little girl, and I was just shocked when I saw that these girls were still allowing that to happen.
Oh, nigga walk past you every day. Won't fix you. Look what you ain't talking.
So they give me Rufus. Rufus won't even have. Rufus didn't even acknowledge his son. Rufus didn't even not. Little Rufus didn't even acknowledge his son. Rufus didn't even acknowledge little Rufus. He won't even. You walking down the street every day with your child, and he won't even acknowledge you or your son. But income tax time come, he hugged up with you, talking about y'all gonna get married.
Planes on the next block.
These girls gonna have to learn because a lot of these men are living with girls got wives, and then they come back to them around income tax time, and the women that they live with and their wives are in on it. She don't much want him. She know he gonna go stay with you for 3 months to get these girls getting 10, 11, $12,000 depending on how many kids they got. The wife is in on it. She want the husband or the boyfriend to go get her money and bring it back to her household.
Yeah, the wife gonna take her and spend it with the niggas she like. That's what she call it.
It's true. She be glad when he go and get your money because she glad he gone away from home so she could be with her side dude.
Yeah, she gonna take her. She gonna spend it with the niggas she really like, right? Like y'all get the history lesson, right?
I'm telling you, the wife and the girlfriend be in on it. Slim got her income tax. I'm gonna go. They go buy their wives. Them girls getting 10, 11, $12,000. They giving the dude almost all of it. He take it and go back his wife or his woman he living with, and then they'll start calling. I want to know where he went to. You already know he went back home to where he was at when before he came back to you, and then you don't hear from him no more until Thanksgiving. He already started coming around during Thanksgiving because the holidays coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Hold out, see him some money. He stop, man. He get work on, You ain't buying anything.
They comes back around Thanksgiving so that they can get a Christmas gift. The girls start borrowing off of their income tax around the Christmas time. So he get him a Christmas gift. He getting some of that borrowed money. She get the full income tax come January, February. By March, he back home with his woman.
Yeah.
They going, he blocking you on Facebook because he didn't got your income tax, and him and his woman or his wife and kids is taking trips off of your money.
Yeah. Don't be out gonna be broke and look like goddamn fool for the rest of you. Man, hey, y'all gotta wake up.
I'm telling you.
You gotta be children come out. You brought that person with all money. That 9 times out of 10 ain't no feeling niggas.
Yeah, she go crazy. He bought me some Jack Turtles. I mean, these they getting all excited. Girl, he bought my chicken, and he done borrowed the money from her to buy it, and she gone crazy. Girl, he let me get gravy on my fries. She done let him spend the whole night because they selling ass for Jack Turtles chicken.
Hey, y'all. Put the brains on him and get him some Memphis the extra ice. So cold.
No, what we doing is we trying to tell these young ladies to stop being so gullible. It's plenty of listen, it's plenty of good men out there. It's plenty that understand what their position is. And don't let nobody tell you because you got 4 or 5 children that you can't get nobody. All you need to do is make sure you taking care of your business. Even if you did that in the past, you learned, right? You turn your life around, go start handling business, putting yourself and your children in a better position, and I promise you it'll be a good man that'll love you and your kids, okay? As long as you're a good woman.
So will. I ain't tell them. Some of these women that ain't used to nothing, when you go to Jack Myrtle, go back and kill them. Kill them count as a simple. Ain't no telling what you might.
The cheapest thing I buy Jack Turtles gizzards. They ain't expensive.
They don't know.
No, gizzards are the cheapest thing on the menu. First of all, he'll take you to a nice restaurant. Jack Turtles ain't just a chicken shack.
Well, McDonald's don't count, lady.
And gizzards, I be getting gizzards with gravy sometimes. But they be frying it in bad oil. You know that oil be dirty and stuff. I can't really. You could tell now they be or 7. You could tell like that dirty oil. It's just best to make your own gizzards and stuff. My grandma and mama and them know how to make gizzards. I make my own gizzards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to do it if you don't want to be a comedian.
IMC Johnson says, I have friends and cousins been in that situation. It's really sad, but they really believe yeah, that's the oldest trick in the book. I said, these girls is still letting these guys talk about that they are going to flip their income tax. Ain't said he come back every November. So he can slide himself in. He start back calling, talking about he miss you. He know he gonna get a good big Thanksgiving dinner. He ain't gonna be with you during Thanksgiving because he's still at home. Around Christmas, he probably gonna come around to get his Christmas gift. But he already know he got to stick around for the big reward. The big reward is coming in January and February, and that's the income tax.
I think the big if y'all gonna get the income tax, man, open up right before New Year's again.
No, Cypress, no, it's not right for men to try to take advantage of women. That's the reasons why a lot of
Right.
No, they ain't supposed to do it at all. What has to happen is these women have to start mentally. No, ladies, let me tell you something. I'm getting ready to give you some game. Let me tell you something. When a man really wants you, when he really cares about you, if he see that you are a single mother, you ain't got to tell him that there is a need because he already knows. He ain't gonna try to take nothing from you. He gonna come in trying to make situations more comfortable for you because he understands that you are a single mother and there is a need and you taking care of your kids. He gonna come in trying to make sure that you are straight.
They can't make men like that.
Yeah, they still make them like that. They out there, but women, you got to make sure that you got to bring more to the table than just coochie, though. Although for some men, that's all that is required. Because you got men messing over their wives and stuff that they've been with for 30 years for some coochie, and she ain't. That's all she offers.
Women, you gotta bring some people to the table.
The Green Ranger says a real man makes a constructive plan and fixes things, not finesse and takes. You're absolutely right, the Green Ranger. I agree with you 100%. We love men like that. Let me tell you something. As strong as I am, I would be submissive to a man like that. And when I say submissive, I don't mean not looking him in the eye. I'm talking about trusting him enough. He have to be my husband. Trusting him enough to know that this man is he's his track record, he's made good decisions. I trust him to make good decisions and to lead this household.
Well, yeah, that sound good. Sound real good.
That sounds good, huh?
Yeah, man. They have good men out here. I don't want this. Want the nigga to come up with the income tax.
They listen, they be one of them dudes to come through during income tax time because the guy they controls the guy with the money. They want to control him for that little month because he ain't gonna stay no longer than a month and a half.
Right. Right. Women don't want no man that they think of. See, man, this how the women play. They don't want no, well, most of them, but not all y'all, but I want all y'all people, only y'all eyes. But some of these women, they don't want no man that they can control, but the man that they like, they know they can't control him. So they don't deal with him. They don't put much into him as they do the man that they control. It's a cold game, y'all. It's a cold game.
You know about that, Cypress. It's not true. It all depends on the woman.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I done seen.
I mean, but it's different for everybody though.
They just want about it. They don't even like it or respect it. Then they take control. They talking so bad about these niggas.
You don't think so? But okay, so why is the guy around if she don't respect him? And
They can control him.
yeah, but why won't he leave her? Why won't he get somewhere?
Where he gonna go? His family don't want to be bothered with his ass.
Also, he ain't got nowhere to live. He living up in the house with her.
Yeah, most times men like that they need them. So yeah, the women ain't gonna respect them. They gonna go on bad, but the whole they can't really put too much stock into him because they can't control it. They'll deal with him, but they know he ain't going for it. They can't control him, so it ain't gonna get far with him. But they'll keep the nigga around and he gonna he gonna be the nigga gonna look out see him with the hard work he ain't got this, so we can look down and talk bad at him. But meanwhile, he gonna get tired of this. He gonna be domestic violence coming in there. Man.
I have not seen toxic relationships like that. I've seen toxic relationships because I've had some, but it was not that.
Man, I grew up in New Memphis. Them have the one shade for niggas.
Well, I mean, I've seen where women got beat. Yeah, I have. I've seen afterwards where they had to wear shades, but they would not leave the guy for some reason. They don't leave him.
No, they love them. Until they define the thing in the church, now your kids gotta fuck and be made. And really treat this man so bad for you, treat them that nothing with him.
But it should never come to a point where people are putting their hands on each other. That's what folks don't get. You don't put your hands on nobody.
All right. Like that right now. Yeah, man. Yeah, don't put your hands on them. I don't want to dead ball, but hey, people, some women don't feel like they get love unless the man is knocking them up.
Well, that's true because that's true. I knew a woman like that. She used to always feel like he was going the guy that she was going with was going back and forth between her and another girl. He was really with the other girl, messing with her on the side. And she used to like it when he beat her ass because it proved to she in her mind it proved to the other it was proof that he was messing with her. I told y'all he loved me. He got mad because I was at the club. She think he wasn't messing with me. She see now he messed with me and he been a beat the hell out of her. But to her, she equated that with love and proving to the other girl that he was living with. I told you he messed with me.
And the whole time she good as hell wants you. Man, that man got a whole domestic violence talk. Y'all got some fun. That's right, man. God bless.
I tell you. Antico says, bottom line, I think is women want a man they can control. Women want men that will listen to them, but I can't be with nobody that I can control like that. I don't want nobody that's stubborn. He said they both are fools. Tiptoe, you show right. That's so true. But I don't want a man that how some men are messed up in the head. Well, I'm saying this. Some men are messed up in the head. And so they feel like if they're a woman, they feel like it's a weakness to listen to. Not I'm the man. I don't want that. Oh, it's women that have been married to men for years like that. And so they're scared to say anything because it's going to be an argument because he feels like that it is disrespectful for his wife or his woman to try and tell him anything. Like he just got all the answers. No, I don't want no nigga that won't listen to me. Hell no. Because see, what's gonna happen is we just ain't gonna be able to be together because I'm not gonna be in a house where I cannot express certain things to my husband or my man. I'm walking on eggshells. Well, I want to say this to him, but it's gonna start that it's hell. No, I can't live my life like that. If he don't know everything, women can feel stuff. Women look more into stuff. He should be glad that he has a teammate to say, look here, baby. I know that you made this decision, but I looked into this thing. This might be some problems. So let's talk about this. You might want to go in this direction. But it's so many men that feel like it's taken away from their manhood to listen to their wife and their woman. Hell no, I don't want a man like that. And I'm not gonna be with one like that. Yeah. To be your dead. So don't listen to your woman and watch how listen to her and see what it tell you. Me. Because you have women. I used to go to this hairstylist, and her husband would come in and after the hairstylist finished with her hair, and she go, oh, that ain't exactly the way he said it. Oh Lord! And when he would come in, he would look at her hair and would go, such and such. He would critique it, and she would be so scared if it was not exactly the way that her husband said it. She would still be sitting in the chair in case he needed for her to change something. I ain't get ready to be with nothing like that. You out of line if you sitting up walking up in my beauty salon talking about my damn hair. You out of line. But that's the type, like these are the types of situations that's out there. If I want to go get me some braids, now I used to date this guy who used to always say, "Baby, I told you I don't like braids. I like for you to wear your real hair, or I don't mind the extensions, but I prefer your real hair. I don't mind you wearing the extensions though, but I don't like no braids." I thought about that because when I would go get my braids or have him to pay for them, he said, "I told you I don't like braids." So I thought about that a lot. I was like, "Well, he said he don't like braids, so I'll wear my hair, my natural hair, quite a bit, or I'll just keep my extensions in, or whatever." I mean, I can understand that, but he wasn't demanding nothing. He was just telling me, I just don't care for braids.
Yeah, he found out that was a young woman.
Everybody wear braids.
Yeah.
The green ring said, "Your hair, nails, everything should be to the liking of your husband. Why is it to the liking of any and everybody else when you just married him? Make it make sense." Tamara, damn it, you're not gonna be wearing those braids. Well, I mean, I still, and I wear them to this day, but we ain't together. But I was more cognizant of that because he was the one, he was paying for it.
Right. That's a difference when they paying for it and make a whole lot of difference.
Yeah, right. Antico says, I would 100% support everything when it is time to work. It is time to work. Women want to come before the work.
Right. And some of it is, some of that.
He's the Green Ranger says, you might have been dressed in a certain way your whole life, looking a certain way, meet a man, he likes you but wants you to be different. To be with him, you should do it if you want to be with him. But if he met you, I don't know about that because how were you dressed when he started dating you? Like how was it when you started dating? I know people are supposed to evolve, but I'm thinking more in terms of you have men that meet women that they flat out dress like a whore. And then after he's been with her for a little while, you would think, that people would evolve. But I mean, that's what you were attracted to in the beginning. That's what she was. So I don't really know how that's gonna work out.
Tell the women that dress like whores.
They need to stop dressing like whores. Tambori says billions of dollars are wasted in hair and beauty, and it can go towards something more productive. He says, long as it's not plastic surgery, you should be willing. Y'all be wearing so much stuff that's not naturally yours. And then you want to tell a man, but here's the thing, she was wearing it when he met her. See, that's where women have the issues with. You get with a woman, I don't want you to wear that wig. What was she wearing when you met her? She was wearing that same tight ass wig when you met her. Now you want her to take it off. But that's what you was attracted to.
Amen. Tell them, Tamara. Amen. Look, where's God? That I think I'll tell you stuff.
Meg name makes sense. I love when you can be in a relationship and can be yourself. Me too. It's a good thing when you can be yourself when you don't have to worry about all of the superficial stuff. You ain't got to have your the lashes and stuff on. I understand it though. That's why women should if when you start dating somebody, I mean, when you start messing with them the long way, I mean, you ain't gonna be having on no makeup. Your hair and stuff are gonna be different all the time. Cause I wear braids and I wear my real hair and I wear extensions. My hair kind of changed up quite a bit. So it ain't. I mean, if you messing with them, you gonna see them in some of their work, especially if you sleeping with them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, man, I'm gonna find y'all before I roll up out of here. Hey, man, just get y'all. No, we'll talk, y'all. We'll talk with me. Just get y'all a fight for TV. Somebody out and land with, talk with.
Cypress, don't you got some Cypress? It sound like I heard you got a woman over there with you right now.
What?
Don't you got somebody over there with you?
No, I ain't got something. No, I ain't got. You don't heard about a woman on her way.
I thought I heard you talking to a woman. I thought I heard her say amen. Okay, because I thought maybe you had somebody because you would say you always keep like two women at one time.
Yeah, you
How many women do you have now?
Sunday morning, with the yeah, the crew women I they we
Mm.
wait right now.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
I'm trying to work it out.
Well, how you feel? How you feel like God gonna send you somebody when you sitting up hollering about you gotta pimp women?
You know, just saying for the people, for the fellas, you know, say, do what you gotta do to get in when you need to get in, fellas. You know,
Mm.
all right. But let God work it out because I see the picture.
Let God do it this time. I hear you. Why do you pick the wrong ones? Why do you do that?
Oh, man, like, I just have to have that way I way to live my lifetime, and I always wanted it my way. Like I couldn't see it no other way but my way.
And what was your way?
Yeah. You find that as you get older, the back pain, and all they get kicking in. You just want to bring it in the wind.
So would your way having to be having two women at one time at all times?
No, that was just something I was just trying, you know.
You said every time you had a relationship, you had another woman.
Well, most of the time, but like when I had two of them and one in one house, one of them, it really was just something I was just trying because one of them tried to play with me, so I had to form that I'm
But then why didn't you just leave her then and go be with the one that was messing with you the right way then?
uh, uh, I was just young and wild. So I had to prove a point like, yeah, I had her in the house, hey, you at this house, and nigga do my thing. You know, I ain't saying it was right, but you know, I ain't with neither one now.
No, because they both quit you.
Okay, you know, that's good.
They both quit you. You lost them both.
Yeah, yeah. That was God's plan for me to lose both. But you know, it's cool. I learned. 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 I learned.
What lesson did you learn?
Just leave them alone. If it ain't working, don't try to do too much, or you gonna lose out. I'm gonna be around the hole.
Well, which one did you like the best?
The second one, honestly, but
Well, then why didn't you just say to the one that you felt like was playing with you, listen, this ain't gonna work out. I'm just gonna leave and then go and try to build something with the second one.
because I didn't give it that. I just want to do me.
Hmm. Did the second one know that you was living with somebody? Okay. So she knew you had somebody.
See, yeah, you know what I'm
Mm.
real. See, I can't be real. Like I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, like hide and stay with her. And we going through a little fun. She didn't have the sister she chose us. And I gave her the option. So, man, you know what I'm saying? Once you give them the option, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you can have your way with it. All you gotta do is be 100. Hey, man. Sometimes it works, sometimes it won't. Boy, you what you talk with the game. You win some, you lose some.
Hmm.
But I'm looking forward to settling down though. One day I ain't gonna go far in marriage because I don't know about that one, but
Hmm.
I do want somebody like
Well, that's settling down, marriage.
okay. I ain't going that far right now.
Well, then ain't no you probably because most women want a husband. If you want somebody, you getting older and stuff, you want somebody to grow old with, she gonna be changing your damn shitty diapers and shit. She probably gonna have to be your wife.
I don't believe it. But I have a girlfriend, but I don't want to totally be into the family because I really don't believe it.
You terrible. Why you don't? Why? Because you want to be able to get up and walk when you get ready.
Yeah, we gotta have to go.
Well, then God ain't get ready this, and God ain't get ready to send you no good woman so that you could, because your mindset ain't right. You sitting up talking about you want you a woman. You was waiting for God to send you somebody this time because you messed over two women and lost them both. But now you just gonna let God do it, but you ain't gonna marry her because you want to be able to walk when you get ready. God ain't get ready to send you nobody good so you can mess over that lady.
My I love her right into she family. I'm gonna love her right. Then with me, we gonna have.
You gonna love her right until she violates. What you talking about? So what you gonna do?
Nah, I'm grown now. I just leave her.
You can't, I mean, if you love somebody, just because you have problems don't mean you just leave them alone. Just because everybody have problems sometimes.
Yeah,
It's when it's consistent that it ain't no, it don't look like it's gonna be no break in it. That means it's time to go.
but we can work it out cool and not there. Hey, baby, I'm gonna holler at you.
Oh Lord have mercy. Well, listen, these young ladies are gonna have to be taught how to be young ladies because these girls feel like now that unfortunately, especially the younger women, I never in my life seen anything like it before. They feel like it's better to sell their bodies than to work.
Hey, you ladies, I got some Jack Turtle. Come holler at me. I love them.
And people are so twisted and sick. I was looking at this vlog. I forget the name of it where the young girl was 16 years old, but when she started um she was when she started prosty, she was 13 years old, and she said that she has an OnlyFans, and men be sending her $500-600 to look at her toes and all of that. And so she said that she met this millionaire, and she said he asked her how old she was. She said she was 13 at the time, but she was scared, so she told him she was 16. And so she said he was like, "Please tell me you're not older than 11. Please just tell me you're not older than 11." It's a lot of twisted freaks out there.
Damn. Hey, yeah, this is crazy.
He says a healthy relationship consists of two people who agree to complement and enhance each other and grow together. One molding the other implies that one is lacking and the other is already perfected.
You popping out later on?
Who, me? I got to. I might. I got to get out and work. That's why I was getting on early because I got to work. As a matter of fact, and guess. Oh, I was getting ready to listen. I ain't gonna. No, I ain't gonna say where I've been working at. I ain't gonna say. Gonna say where I've been working at. Yeah, yeah, but I show got something to sting them real good though. I got something that's gonna sting them real good. I'm gonna put somebody to sleep for real. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them to sleep. Permanently, because we be sitting up. I don't be the only one on the streets, because we be sitting up. Listen, we was on a street the other day. It's funny because there's one white person that lives on that street in that hood. I was about to say what hood. I'm not gonna say what hood. That white man walked out. I was sitting out there. The other cars would be positioned in different ways, but we be locked and loaded. I was like, darn. The white man walked down and said, boom, on the back of my hood. Now he can't stop us from sitting on the street. He can't stop us from sitting on the street. But I guess he's mad because I was parked in front of his house. I said, when I heard, I said, dog, somebody hit my, and I look back. I mean, he didn't have on no shirt, had on his pajamas. It'd be one of them ones that you have to be worried about because they be in their houses building them BOMBS. Okay, I look back. I said, look at this mother. The hit my. I don't know what that. He didn't say anything to me. Boom. I said, Lord have mercy. I said, that's all right, because when I go back, I'm up every day. I've been parking right in front of his house.
Yeah, buddy. I'm a call to wake your best friend up. I know her ass sleep. Look.
Um, Yeah, cause she parties on Fridays and Saturdays. So she said she get her sleep on Sundays. For some reason, I don't get the notifications when she come on. I don't see it. It comes up in my algorithm like the day after. I go, dog, she was on last night. I told her she was sending me the links, but I wasn't seeing when she was sending the links. I don't be on Facebook all the time. And for some reason, I just if I'm it I don't know. But she gonna have to start telling me when she come on. I told her she gonna have to call me and say I'm on. What y'all be talking about?
I don't know. We had only been talking about relationship the other day, but I was over there with Hilda, so I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna call what's up. I know she might be asleep. But me and God, me and Jesus was with her ass up. Pick it up. I'm still gonna have. I'm talking going live later. Like, y'all don't show up. Well, y'all
Yeah, what is it? What is it? Vanessa, the godmother?
yeah, God podcast straight from South Memphis.
Yeah, the godmother's podcast straight from South Memphis, straight up out of South Memphis. Cause Cypress be hating on South Memphis. Cypress, why you hate on South Memphis? You already know, yeah. People be so. I don't know why folks be so jealous about how we do's it. That's how we said. That's how we do's it in South Memphis.
Ain't on the home of Cone.
No, South Memphis ain't the home of Cone. North Memphis is. Everybody be hating on South Memphis. Jews on how we do it.
We love South Memphis.
As a matter of fact, I don't know no cones that came out of South Memphis except for Cornelius.
You look back from
Well, well, well. We give. Well, I didn't know. I don't know if Gangsta Black is a cone or not. I ain't never known him. Gangsta Black could be no cone. Now, Player Fly. Listen. We Player Fly. Let me just say this. Player Fly has good music and stuff like that. We praise for Player Fly. We don't call Player Fly no cone. Okay, he ain't no cone. He just we proud of we Player Fly, we praise for him.
he'll make like the black both songs.
Ain't no cone. I ain't never known Courtney to be no cone.
You learn today. You learn something new every day.
You say he what?
I said, well, we learn something new every day.
Well, I'm just saying I never knew him to be like that.
That's all I ever know him from.
You don't know him from that. I ain't never known him to be that. And I really don't know if Player Fly is a cone. He might just be doing that. He might just be doing that for the cameras.
Man, somebody not put that goddamn big and man getting high. Stop, damn, stop.
Now, Cypress, I'm gonna just say this. I think like a lot of, I ain't saying that all of North Memphis, but I know, like, like a lot of the North Memphis citizens, people that live in North Memphis like you, had always hated on the South Memphis rappers because it was more rappers to come up out of South Memphis.
Well, you right. You probably didn't know they were called, but they called.
But Pretty Tony is from out of North Memphis.
Yeah, Pretty Tony will get high in the morning, bro.
And Pretty Tony from out of North Memphis. But I still calling tonight.
Emma? The man was called, right? Listen, you get high on your own supply, Emma?
The Pretty Tony was one of the first. Who was the first rapper to go national? Was it Pretty Tony? Was he one of the first ones in Memphis? Who was the first one? Was it Spanish? Because Spanish Fly was, and his name Antonio. I grew up in Clementine. Their apartment was right across from ours. Spanish Fly lived right in Clementine. His whole family. I remember his sister Dion, Monica. He had a brother named Dwayne. I forget his mother's name, but they were always very respectful.
Yeah, you that Santa Flower wasn't the one that put over there.
Yeah, he grew up in Clementine with me.
Yeah, he was one of
But he was older than me, but he was always, his name Antonio, he was always very respectful.
Yeah, he that Santa Flower one of the first major DJs out of Memphis ever really get it and put Memphis on the map. And he don't get the credit he deserves.
Mm-hmm. Joe Free said it's a North Memphis thing. That's all they know.
Man, shout out to Paul, though, man.
He says Gangsta Pat Gangsta Pat was the first to he was the first to go national. Was Pretty Tony before Gangsta Pat, or did Gangsta Pat come after Pretty Tony?
No, Gangsta Pat came first.
So Gangsta Pat came before everybody.
Yeah, Gangsta Pat came for everybody.
They says Pretty Tony didn't even go around the corner talking about national. I know. Didn't Pretty Tony have a song that was national? Didn't he do that Get Buck?
Man, that shit was national. $40. Come on. Hell no.
Mercy. No, but I forget Buck. Didn't that go national?
Yeah, when Hammer took it and we did it.
Look, Royalty says Pretty Tony first, then Pat. So Royalty one says it was Pretty Tony and then Pat, and then Joe Free says Gangsta Pat came out in '87. So that would make Pat first, then, right?
Hey.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where is Skinny Pimp from? Is he from North Memphis or South Memphis?
Skinny Pimp was South City. He's from her village, actually, but he's from the north.
Okay, he from the North.
Yeah, man, Cooper originally from South City. And Skinny from her village. Her mama lived me out of her village. Yeah, family out in and all of it. Finally got the thing of it.
Hmm. Well, I know Gangsta Pat and them are from South Memphis. Pat from South Memphis, Paul from South Memphis, Infamous Lord from South Memphis. There's some of the Whitehaven area, which is now considered South Memphis. Um, Fly from South Memphis, Gangsta Black from South Memphis.
Uncle Black was originally from Sutterfield, but his family was out in the
You said who? Crunchy Black. Okay, but he hung out where I thought he was from South Memphis.
No, he got family out there, but his mom and them folks, they passed originally from Sutterfield. His mama died when he was young.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he grew up in South Memphis, though, right?
Right, because he had his family out there, but his mama and all them started out over there in Sutterfield back in the day, so that passed. After my cousin said,
Joe Free says, I went to Southside with Flying Black. Oh, wow.
yeah, they found putting the cocaine in.
Them dudes I don't know if Fly do cocaine or not. I think that's a marketing thing.
That man boxer.
I don't know why people from North Memphis always wanted to overshadow the um the talent that came because it was more successful rappers that came out of South Memphis.
Everybody was getting high.
Everybody wasn't getting no high. Everybody wasn't getting no high.
Oh no, the rappers was getting high.
The rappers wasn't getting high. He said he on that powder, auntie. Talk about Fly.
Fly all on the people putting that motherfucker to a baby.
I don't know if Paul was on powder or not.
All was on powder. All Lord, Fly, boom, all of them was getting high back then. Pretty Tony.
Well, Pretty Tony from North Memphis.
Hey,
So he probably was getting high. But I don't know about the ones you talking about from out of South Memphis.
ain't no folks get high as motherfucker, man. I'm gonna tell you, I know Pretty Tony was getting super high. This nigga went from riding a green Mercedes to riding a 10-speed bike.
What happened to the green Mercedes?
Hey, cocaine did it. That wasn't
He says I had to go look at some of the old videos and I saw Bag with them boys, Sly Rule guy. I don't know who is Sly Rule. He said Cypress right on. They said Cypress right on. I don't know nothing about. Listen, Cypress would try to say all the South Memphis rappers was getting high because everybody had always hated on the South Memphis rappers because it was more successful rappers to come up out of South Memphis.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a rundown of all the rappers that was getting high. So, hey, I'm gonna do it right here on your show, Pamela. I'm gonna make sure you don't forget. You that Paul was getting high.
No, Paul was getting high or not.
Paul was getting high. You just stopped. Lord, that fool was getting high. Who's the nigga was getting high? Player Fly, Gangsta Flat, Gangsta Blue, Cracker Black Soul Love was getting high. He ain't got no teeth. Pretty high,
I think Juicy J and Project Pat's father was a preacher in North Memphis.
yeah, Father Tucson is a preacher. You don't believe it. Hey, man, Dr. Black was getting so high. You know what he said, Pepper?
What?
I don't even need no goddamn teeth. I got a nose. That nigga high.
He said he don't need no teeth. He got a nose. Lord have mercy. I had not heard nothing about all them South. Now Player Fly put it out there that he was getting high, and I don't know if he get high or not. It could be a marketing thing, but I don't know nothing about the rest of them of South Memphis rappers getting high.
Same how you Black be getting high in the car, but he might eat some good pork chop, and he don't never look like he gonna
Courtney always been tall and thick. He was all even back in the day when I was hanging around him on Taylor Street. He was always tall and thick.
Shout out to the male South there, like man.
Who the mayor of South Memphis?
The next split.
Oh, I didn't know Gangsta Black was the mayor of South Memphis.
Yeah, man, real, man.
Okay.
It's a real good thing.
Oh, for real?
It's a real close. It's a real.
I'm trying to figure out why you didn't name all the rappers, and it's a lot of North Memphis rappers. You didn't say that they was getting high.
I know it. I knew you had to in high pants. Oh, you want me to say God don't need that? I knew the fan law.
You didn't name all the North Memphis rappers that was getting high. You try to name all of the rappers in South Memphis.
Well, they had some money to get high on those guys. Man, Prince Tony went for riding. Queen Mercedes to ride a 10-speed bike.
But you always talked about Pretty Tony was getting high, but you won't say none of the rest of those North Memphis rappers were getting high. Because the truth be told now, it was a competitive thing with North Memphis and South Memphis rappers back then, but they hung around each other.
Yeah.
So then a lot of the North Memphis rappers was getting high.
Yeah, a lot of them. But I don't know.
Yeah, but you don't want to say the North Memphis rappers that was getting high, because there was a lot of rappers in North Memphis that had a big buzz that people know.
Oh, we told me my dad said, "You should just still get high."
It was more than them, you know that. It was more rappers that come out of North Memphis that was getting high.
Just a free, just a free.
And you know some more too. You just don't be wanting to. You don't be wanting to say it.
But he don't get high. He died get high.
Yeah, but Kusta nigga done one the only ones getting high.
No, no.
It's been rappers out of North Memphis that had more success than them that was getting high. And they getting high right now. And you could tell because they don't get no sleep because they scared of their own shadow.
Yeah, he did say he was put at his house for $2, he gonna get a room. I don't know about that one, guy.
Mm.
I think, I think, I think his conscience bothered.
Why would his conscience be bothering him if he say he didn't do nothing?
I don't know. It's time me nothing. You know how certain things be happening around you. I don't know. I'll say this. Like some things that happen around you, and you know it's gonna come back to you because the people that are around you have done a lot of things that maybe they shouldn't have done. Put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, so if it didn't have anything to do with him, why would he be feeling guilty?
Well, that's a good question. Because he pull up in the house. He said he don't want to pull up in the house and get you down to go home. Like he said this.
Yeah, he said it. He said he was scared of his own shadow.
Yeah, I can't excuse them.
You don't believe that you don't believe that nigga getting high?
You know what, Pepper? I ain't gonna say.
I heard that he did.
I ain't gonna say he ain't here.
You know he was. You lived in North Memphis. You know you heard him before me.
No, he wasn't doing no whole in the days. Man, he had that recently. Man, I can't say what he's doing now because he under a lot of pressure. And I can't say, but I know back in the day when I was running around and everybody was running around, he'd be the one that's out, he wasn't doing and doing and none of that. I can say that, but I can't say what he's doing now because I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out why somebody would be stressed out if they ain't had nothing to do with nothing.
Well, you ain't just gotta have nothing to do with nothing. It's sometimes you can know some stuff, you know. Well, sometimes you can know some stuff, you know.
Mm.
But I do think, let me say this. Y'all know I'm riding to the wheel fall y'all. Don't think he gonna get a murder charge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they got enough to get no murder conviction. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't know what things got, but I'm really gonna go on what I think. I don't think they got enough to get no murder conviction on him for that. For the young dog situation. That's because they paid for the lawyers and Jerk was affiliated with CMG. I think he gonna get a wrong conviction.
Well, I mean, but they try to say Juke. They try to did they say Juke was paying for lawyers, or did they didn't specifically say Juke paid for no lawyers?
Yeah, they said the name said Juke wrote him a letter saying, "If I'm going down, we got the lawyer."
He said CMG paid for his lawyers.
That's probably what got to go running. When they called his grandman, Cornelius, he looked at the paper and said, CMG, you pay for your lawyer. CMG, the lady, pay for your lawyer. That's going to be a problem.
Cornelius said he don't know who out of CMG paid for his lawyers. That's what he said. He didn't say Jug. He said he said that defense attorney made sure he let it be known that his lawyers were being paid for by CMG. He said who paying for it? He said I CMG paid for the lawyer. I don't know who's in CMG paid for it, but I just know that's who paid for it.
Right. Well, because that money came out of CMG account.
Yeah, but why would you? That's your company. If you ain't got nothing to do with something, why would you let somebody take money out of an account to pay for lawyers and they've been accused of an unaliving and you ain't had nothing to do with it? Yeah, Cypress, you a fast talker. You don't want to answer that question.
I don't think if he had something to do with the murder, the way Cornelia talking, Cornelia would have told that.
I think Cornelius know more than what people think.
I think he know a little bit more than what he thinks too.
No, I think he know a little bit more than what they allow him to say, because they was directing him. They didn't want him putting too much out.
Well, that's because he got to deal with the Fed. He was with the Fed, so that's why he can't put too much out. I told him that. I'm gonna tell the story to him.
What's after October the 9th?
Wait, no story. He said he gonna get out free. He gonna go do citizen.
Listen, did you look? I was looking at Stan G last night when I got home. Did you see what Stan G said? He says that allegedly, according to Stan G, Orange Mound Quet put a $50,000 hit on Mr. N head about a song. If I didn't lay out hollering, he said that the other day too. Now I hollered, but he said it again. He said it's true.
Well, Stan G is in cahoots with them, so Stan G was low.
That's the second or third time he said it. So when he keeps saying stuff, we have to listen to him.
But I told y'all Stan G was gonna come out to talk with him because he was low. I told y'all this was coming.
With all that's going on, why would Quet put a $50,000 hit on Mr. N?
I don't know. I don't like Mr. N. I really don't like
Don't say that. That would be wrong to be putting it. Why would Quet even want to put a? What has Mr. N said about Quet to make Quet want to put a hit on him? I haven't. I ain't heard nobody say Mr. N even said nothing about Quet. Told Stan G that Mr. N did. I think Stan G talked to. I think.
Man, you know, as somebody saying he's slick and free.
You think Quet told Stan G that, and then Stan G put it out? Maybe Mr. N told him that. Maybe somebody in the end told him that maybe somebody in the end told him that so they said where Quet get $50,000 from? Weird though, because I think I Mr. N and I follow each other on Instagram. I don't never really be on Instagram, but I saw in Mr. N's what do you call it? His story that Mr. N had a video or something with a big head on it. And it just kind of led me to believe he was talking about Gotti. So if it's a $50,000 hit out on him, I don't know.
Man. And plus, Quinn is a youngin.
Mm-hmm.
But when it ain't that possible for Quinn to them 50 laying around, yo.
Mm.
It ain't.
Mm.
That ain't possible. Man, I think somebody told, I think one nigga probably told fans today, man, we got 50 bands on this nigga, man.
Well, I think that's the second or third time. Like I heard somebody, some people came into the chat and said it the other day, but I just happened to see his video last night, and he said it that Quet allegedly has a $50,000 hit on Mr. N.
Y'all they tell fans this shit because they feel like people ain't gonna pay attention to fans shit.
Yeah, but they know he gonna tell it. So do they tell him so he could put it out? Why would Quet be crazy enough to want Stan G to put out that he done put a hit on a man?
Because they all in cahoots together. That's why. They thinking like people gonna think Stan G crazy. They ain't gonna listen to him.
Crazy. I believe he do be talking to somebody.
Yeah. Who put all these niggas to their mom? Everybody except for God in them. They don't like him.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how you feel like he wouldn't have somebody. Stan G knows quite a bit about what what's going on with God, and then why you trying to exempt CMG? I believe he talked to somebody within CMG.
All these niggas play both. But see, I ain't gonna say God don't like him. I'm gonna say Juke wasn't happy with a lot of things to stand a little bit.
Why not?
Well, he said a lot of he said a lot.
Did he lie on it? Did he lie on him?
Don't believe.
Tell no lies on him. He told the truth on him. No, all of it wasn't no lie.
I don't think all of it was a lie. I don't think all of it was true. I definitely don't think all.
Anytime you start saying stuff and people start kicking up smoke about it, if they start kicking up smoke about it, it might have some truth to it. If it was a lie, they wouldn't be bothered with it.
If they ever gonna find out who killed Big Drew, that's what I want to know.
I believe so. Who you think took Juke out? I don't know who took him on. Yeah, I know you want to try to blame Paper Route. Paper Route ain't do that.
Yeah. Hey, look. I ain't gonna listen. It comes from his side, but it comes from people. How can I say this? It comes from people playing both sides.
You always say that.
How you think niggas are getting knocked down? Because niggas are playing both sides.
Well, you've been saying that for the longest about Dolph. Who was playing both sides on Young Dolph's side? Who was the back door? You never even that turned out not to be true.
Hey, I never said no name. I said it there.
So you don't believe that people, you don't believe nobody within Juke camp did that to him?
So what?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I the one time I done told y'all.
Well, I mean, you did. You was the first one to say it, but I'm just trying to see if you're trying to renege on it.
No. Listen, the only way they were gonna be able to get Duke because somebody had to him and get him. Same way, six more with dog. All the way they gonna be able to get dog because somebody gotta play a part in it. Don't tell you why. Cause these ain't broke niggas. They have access to money.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody on his side got to play a part. It don't necessarily have to be an artist. It could be it could be what I believe, a part of the street affiliate that's involved with it.
Whoever there was that took Juke out, that's scary. Who are those people scary? They went and set up in the church.
Well, the people that set up in the but listen, I say this. If they know who got Juke up out of it,
Mm-hmm.
his family know.
When then they need to try to get some justice then, right?
They don't get some justice. It ain't gonna be the justice. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she put out reward money for drinking. You ain't need to put out some reward money for it now. It's been out of this still has supposed to have.
Mm-hmm. Mm. What you mean?
Now, I'm gonna go out and get there though. You don't think the niggas gonna live long.
Why you say that?
Come on, man. You know, he's a big motherfucker. Soon he get to the way he going. Say between a 90-day window and a 6-month window, that nigga is out of here.
I don't think they're gonna bother him.
Okay.
I promise to God, I don't believe they're gonna bother him.
Yeah. You could be right. I think he's dead. Yeah. Quick, quick, get off on this.
So, do you think that Quet is gonna get off?
If he do, he a dead man either way.
He been walking around these streets this whole time. Ain't nobody did nothing to him.
When you gonna walk around when you got the police behind you. Either way it go, quit a dead man walking if he get off.
You think so?
I know so. I can say, but I'm gonna tell you how this shit gonna go, Pamela. He gonna get hit. It's either gonna be from some CMG here or from some papers over here. Either way it go, his ass is out of here. Number one, because he did too much talk. His ass too.
Mm.
I think the nigga is gonna be, but if Quinn go to jail, guess who I think gonna be in line to die if Quinn go to jail?
Who?
In my opinion, I could be wrong, y'all, but Jamar.
But Jamarcus don't know enough. Jamarcus, he got up on the stand. What he said was real vague. He didn't really even tell on his brother. Really, he just he didn't tell nothing. I think what Jamarcus statement, the statement that we heard him give in the trial, it wouldn't have been enough by itself to get him convicted.
Well, what the nigga said got him a life sentence.
Yeah, what Cornelia said got him convicted. Uh-huh. Cornelia sealed it. I mean, but they had so much evidence. Even if Cornelius had not said nothing, that's the reason why Cornelius talked, because of all the evidence they had. He was like, "Shit, let me save myself, cause let me just go and tell it, cause they know. Let me look like I'm cooperating, cause they already know." That's why he said they already know. I may as well tell it.
I think he should get a life sentence.
He was actually the one that killed him. You're right.
He should get a life sentence. I don't even want to explain why I'm not.
But he should get a life sentence because of his participation. You want him to get a life sentence because he told it.
Well, give him a life sentence for both of them. They gonna beat your head in when you get to where you're going. I can't.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
When the niggas get to where you going, tell me you gonna be so tired of going into the platinum, my fucking God.
Got some information now that I want to tell, but I need to wait just a little while. I don't like to prematurely. I'm gonna tell it, but I just I gotta wait. I I gotta see something. I don't want nobody. I don't want to ruin nothing.
Well, to me, those temptations you did, man.
Nobody gonna do nothing to Cornelius. I mean, you don't think that straight drop is in more dangerous than Cornelius, a danger than Cornelius?
This man got a TV in home.
Well, he did the right thing. That's the only thing he could do to try to at least try and correct. Well, he can't correct what he did because the young man is unalived. But his attorney advised him to just cooperate. Once his attorney looked at all of the evidence, he knew that there was they couldn't win. That's what attorneys are supposed to do: advise you, counsel you. That's why they call them a counselor. They supposed to counsel you right. Unfortunately, Straight Drop's attorney didn't do that.
Straight Drop didn't have no remorse.
Well,
At least we can't be.
some of his little people then came into my chat and said he got his time, and they says that he got his time, he trying to do his time, and he gonna pay for what he did. Auntie, just back up off him. So I said I wasn't gonna go so hard on him. I've said what I wanted to say. They was like, just let him do his time.
You can't do all the time. He finished.
They asked me nicely.
Maybe you go hard.
Well, but I would say that he would probably be in more danger than Cornelius. Don't you think so?
No, the niggas out there grateful. I think both of them niggas gonna get their innocent when they get.
Look, Cornelius, Cornelius was when he got out that car carrying that Draco, he looked like Ed the Wino, didn't it? He looked like Ed the Wino, didn't it?
Yeah, he was high as hell.
He was wobbling with that.
Yeah, because he didn't know what he was doing. Now I blew his damn hand up. If Marcus would have been alive.
If he just when he was running out that car, looking like Ed the Wino, if he could have just went ahead and started going off in his hand and going all up in his face, we would have we would have took that. At least he would have took himself out before he ever even got up to that window. But that boy did not stand a chance, because as soon as he saw his yellow shirt, he just started firing. Because I believe what Straight Drop did was told him to get out and see if he in there. And that's what took him a minute to get out. Once he saw that he started firing, he must have said to himself, damn, the nigga in there. or see if you could get a good shot of him because they knew he was in there because a call was made. And the person had said, make sure um that he don't come out the cookie shop. Yeah.
Okay,
Or they met well when they saw him go into that parking lot, huh?
you know who the picture is?
No, I'm surprised that did not come out in court.
You know who
Who was the person? Who was the person?
the nigga that paid.
Okay, YG.
Mm.
Was it Black Youngster?
You know what? I don't know. See, I don't know how Black Youngster gonna come into the fold with me now.
He awful quiet, ain't he?
Yeah, shout out to Black Youngster, man. See, I don't know how Black Youngster gonna come into the fold, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is everything they treated it. I don't know. You know, well, I'm gonna get the call.
Well, I can't see it coming up. Okay, all right.
Uh,
Hey, this is Tamara.
Typical William from Arkansas. And I'm a big young dog fan.
Speak up for me, love. Your phone is kind of low, so kind of speak up for me, okay?
Okay, this is Christopher Williams, and I'm from and I
Turn your TV down because you're getting the feedback.
can you hear me better now?
Yeah, but you're listening to the feedback. So make sure if you got me up on another system, turn that down so that you could just hear me on the phone. So whatever you're listening to, turn it down. Okay, they hung up. Okay. All right, you guys. Um, Duke Man says, that's the only way I see BY unless he paid some money. The CMG and Loaf Gang all quiet. Everybody quiet. Anyways, y'all, I was not into it's going on 11 o'clock. I was not into let me take this call and then I'm gonna get off. I had said an hour. Hello?
Oh, yeah, Christopher Williams, can you see me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, I know why this nigga.
Um, you know what? I don't know. The only thing that she would have been able to say is what was what we saw, right? She saw them run up and then she ran. I mean, it was a lot of evidence I'm hearing. They had so much. It was a lot that they did not because Cornelius just kind of brought it home, you know. But I guess we'll never know.
Right, right.
Because I know statements, they took statements from them. They have statements from them on record. But as far as that trial, I believe this is what I saw. The reason it was so short, they tried when Cornelius did the talking, which is why, Straight Drop's attorney was really, really, you could tell he was upset that Hernandez Govan did not get on the stand because when it's cut and when it's straight to the point like that when you start bringing in a whole lot of different people, it gives the attorney the defense attorneys can really play games and raise reasonable doubt, and that's all that the defense has to do is just raise reasonable doubt to get a not guilty verdict. And so, like I said, I think that's why Straight Drop's attorney was really disappointed that they did not call Govan as a witness, the prosecution, so that he could cross-examine him, because he was going to play games. He was really going to raise reasonable doubt. Now, remember when the other guy was up there that they brought in there, that when they was talking about that car, Straight Drop's attorney tried to insinuate that he had an involvement with it. You see what I mean? And I think that would have been part of his defense, to try to say, well, this person could have had something to do with it. Govan definitely could have been one of the ones that was out there instead of Straight Drop. Those are the types of games that defense attorneys play. I think that the prosecutors knew who the defense attorney was. They knew the types of games that he played, and they just kept it simple. With Cornelius, that's all they needed to get a conviction for Justin Johnson. Now, it might be something different as time goes on with other defendants.
Because I know with Cornelius, he said when he was in jail, the Straight Drop sent him a kite saying, "I got 7,000 for you if you say that it was Govan instead of me."
Mm-hmm. He said that Straight Drop told him, cut me loose, and cut me loose, let me go, let me go, and just say it was Govan. But no, the Straight Drop's lawyer never said that it was Govan that was out there. He never gave an alibi of where Straight Drop was. I mean, never had any witnesses to come forward to say that he was with me on this day. I mean, it's at least, the first thing you do is establish an alibi and get people to back that up. He didn't have that. Mhm.
That was my favorite. He was my favorite rap. That's all I played my part, Young Dog.
Yeah, his raps are pretty motivational, because he'd rap about getting money all the time.
Right, right. And then, and what I loved about him, he had a big heart. You don't see nobody around the city, any other rapper, giving away like Dog did. Like, this man was giving away Ferrari.
Hmm.
And Dog had a big heart. And that's why I love it so much. And I just hope that everybody that had a fingerprint on what happened to me, I hope they get either one of them.
Me too. Me too. And that I mean, we ain't even at the tipping point. It'll be more. That Straight Drop was just the beginning. It don't end with Cornelius and Goldman.
Oh, yeah, and I really think Straight Drop gonna he's gonna take a beat on everybody else. He ain't tough. He ain't tough like I don't want to put him out there to be big. He's gonna spit a beat on everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, when you 26 years old and you looking at what he's looking at, and he got other, I don't know who they talking to, but whoever, whatever intel they got, they telling on everybody. Cases that's cold. Shoot.
But I believe it's really Govan, the one who's telling on everybody.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, I think it's Govan. Because Govan is already a known snitch. They already said that he's a known snitch.
Hmm.
So I believe it's Govan, the one who's telling on everybody. That's why he's so.
Hmm.
And a lot of like a lot. He's
Yeah.
not gonna have you on full cycle. I've never seen anyone on full cycle charges.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be right. So do you think that so do you the rumor has been that they're saying, and that's just been on the internet, that he gonna walk free. Do you believe that?
Oh, no, he's not gonna walk free. I think Govan is gonna get a life sentence too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he's working for the thing to try to get a RICO thing done, and I think he's the one. I think Goban is the one telling. He's the one giving all the information. So he's gonna, he's gonna be out on the street. I really think that.
Oh wow.
Because like I said, with those type of serious charges, they're not gonna let nobody be walking the street with those type of charges. And then if you look at it, uh, uh, he's he, he's doing what he want to do. He's going to cities, different cities. He's doing shows. He's basically living a normal life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think he's the one. I think he's the one
You
telling.
think he the one? You think he the one that's solving these cold cases? Somebody is putting the pieces together on cold cases. I don't know if it's him, but somebody doing it.
Yeah, so a lot of time I think with the feds when somebody is telling something, won't reveal who you are.
Right.
Won't reveal who the person is.
It could be, and it could be more than one person. It could be more than one person. That's why I was saying that I hate that these young men, and it goes beyond the young men. I mean, yeah, the young men that are in the young dogs case. So I said I hate these young men have got themselves caught up. But I remember saying a long time ago, some of these boys were going to be get caught up because of affiliation, and I think that's what has happened. Some of the ones that are going, that are also going to go to jail too.
Right, right. And they just using these young kids to throw their life away because the ones that sending them to do the little shit, they don't really count with themselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Only thing I can say is them folks are outside. I'm talking about them boys been outside for a long time now. I'm talking about the alphabet boys. They've been out there a long time. That's why Cornelius just went on and surrendered.
Right, right, because it knew that they didn't have a fighting chance.
That's true. They ain't got a chance. They sure don't have a chance.
He knew that because the prosecutor was trying to get up on him, he was like, man, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling you what happened. I'm telling the truth.
And he wasn't gonna get up there and lie because he already knew that they could fact check. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so why get up there and lie? It just go along with trial when people already got great evidence that the right man will want to put on himself.
It's true.
I did something, and the right man goes up there and say, I didn't do it. You're going to deny it to the fullest
That's true.
somebody shows some, some kind of evidence, and he knew that he had them dead to the right.
Tell you something. Straight drop. It might would have been some doubt if he had said that there was straight dropping Govan or straight dropping Jamarcus out there. If he had tried to, disassociate himself from it like he did the first time, in the beginning. They say, you know what they say he was trying to do? He was trying to say, I know what happened, but I wasn't out there, and they already knew he was out there. They weren't going for that. But if he had said it was straight dropping anybody else, that would have been questionable. But he said it was me out there and the other person. He put himself there.
Right, and that's all. If you watch any of them homicides, stuff like that, all you have to do is put yourself in this vicinity. Once you put yourself there, that's it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
But, but they had, even if he tried to put Govan there instead of straight drop, they had everywhere these guys were at already had it covered.
Yeah.
Even and niggas back even to this man what.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling you was so dumb. He walked around with the same clothes on that he did the murder in. The same underwear.
Yeah. That's a darn shame. Mm.
And they're saying the first thing you did something like that, saying, oh, you underwear, everything you could get rid of, everything you had on. These stupid fools were walking around, same clothes on, and they got him, they got him all the way down to the
Yeah, that's sad. And then they got him and Cornelius pulling up together right after the homicide.
yeah, so everywhere they went was already knew they was gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
They already had it set up to where they knew they was gonna go there. And so one thing about the feds is if you do a crime like that, anybody that related already got their covered.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Anybody that related to you, it go down to cousin, nephew, nieces, uncle, aunt. If you did something, a crime like that, they're gonna have those houses watched.
If you notice, they didn't call Straight Drop's cousin in this trial.
Yep, I noticed that. And I think even with that, she should get some time too, especially.
That's accessory after the fact. She knew they did something.
Yep, she know they did something. And then on the news, if you see them coming to your house and you know they just got straight drop that gun community stuff, and you could think, okay, this might be connected to what just happened to Young Dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure he told her something when they got there and they had been shot and all of that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He probably was on the phone with her before he
And
left.
I'm sure he told her, don't tell nobody, cuz don't say nothing to nobody. This, and that.
Yep. Like I said, I don't care how gangster you think you are. God reveal everything.
God reveals
You
everything.
can't get away with it. You can't get away with nothing these days. You just think. You didn't talk. Like if I didn't just bad those young men, threw their life away and if the shoes on the other foot, they only gave me $800 out the deal, I'd have told them.
Yeah. I wonder how in the world they thought he wasn't gonna tell. They gave him $800. Why did they think he was not gonna tell and they gave him $800? And folks try to say that they think he got more. Now I think they only gave him $800.
And really, truly, I was thinking, just listening to it, I was thinking that they wasn't going to get him back because they were looking at him just a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they was looking at. You saw people on the street, the drug dealers, and you fat heads, and they might take your grass, and your grass worth $300. They might give them $10.
That's exactly how they treated him. And they almost didn't give him that. They nickel and dime him on that.
Yeah, that man said he got 500, and a couple of days later he got $300. Man, I don't care what people would have called me. They could have called me a snitch or whatever. I'd have straight told on them.
That means Straight Drop took all the money. And I think Straight Drop got more than 40.
Yep, straight drop probably got more than 40. Yep.
Because remember, Mr. N said when they was trying to recruit before, it started out at 250. So I believe it was more than 100.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But like I said, I don't think they was in. And if you look at the video, it looked like they were trying to set Cornelius up to do the killing himself. Straight drop didn't get out. He got out like 2 seconds later.
That's true. You're right, Lady V. Lady V said Cornelius' family made sure he wasn't going down by himself. You're absolutely right. That's sure what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Cornelius straight drop was be surprised that straight drop wasn't shooting blank.
Mm-hmm.
Every bullet that they found was from Cornelius.
Because you sure right, he almost didn't get out.
Yep, he hit me before he got out. And he's like, well, I'm sitting now. I might as well two or three times, I guess. But it was in their interest for Cornelius to do the killing. And straight drop would just be there, and then straight drop probably would get less of time.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. He would have got less of time and still had all the money. I'm gonna tell you something. They went and got Cornelius that Wednesday because remember Cornelius said that they were not. That was the only day that he was with them. Straight dropping them was gonna try to take Young Dolph out that Monday. You see, they did not make a move because he had too many people around him. I'm surprised that didn't come out, but I'm sure it's gonna come out at a later time. And so they went and got Cornelius because they decided the other dudes decided they already knew it was gonna be some shots fired back. They decided that they was gonna get Cornelius to take out somebody, and in return, if anybody had to go, then they would be popping back at him. That's why they was on their way to Westwood. No, none of them other dudes want to go off in Westwood. They already know what goes on in Westwood. Hell, I don't even like going in Westwood. Them little narrow streets and stuff, all them trees and stuff. He wasn't gonna go off up in there and pop up them people at a turkey drive. They went and got a crackhead to do it and just get away. Jay Fizzle was gonna bust back at him.
Yep, and I swear to God, I believe that was really what was going on. They was going to use Cornelius for the fall guy.
Mm-hmm.
They thought was going to get away with he was going to get away with the money, and they just looked at Cornelius with the little trumpet, wait for him to do it, and you just throw him some reforms and you just keep all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's good. Why he told Cornelius, I got 7,000 for you. Even Cornelius took 7,000. He was so wrong.
Right. I'm trying to understand at least they really was gonna plan that did him dirty. And I mean, normally they ain't even try to give him 10,000. They gave him $800. They ain't even try to give him 8,000.
But they weren't. But what I'm saying, they weren't going to give him.
No, they weren't. Straight Drop got that money and got on the run quick, didn't he? He got that money and just them paid him, and he took that money and got on the run quick.
Yep. But I thank you for your time. I just want to collab on that real quick.
Well, I appreciate you for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, you guys. Listen, I've enjoyed being on here with y'all. I said because I know I got to be out late. I was like, I'm gonna get on and y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Let me just tell y'all something, and I'm gonna tell y'all in the best way that I can say it. Y'all notice I've been trying to get on every day, but it was another investigator that got a case that brought me in, contracted me in on a case, okay, that I kind of been working on with them. Let me tell y'all something, and we ain't working on nothing as it relates to no gang members or anything like that. So don't get beside yourself. But let me tell you something. The types of cases that this guy takes is nothing but federal cases. Let me tell y'all something about them FBI agents. They don't give a fuck. Okay. And I think that they're there to do one job and they real focused and they don't care. Y'all talk to y'all sons. Talk to y'all sons and reel them in because when they it just ain't gonna turn out good for them if y'all don't talk to them. It's gonna either be death or federal time where they're gonna be looking at for the rest of their life. And I'm not saying that in a callous way. I'm saying that them folks are they out there and they on top of their jobs. Okay. So we listen, they don't hire private investigators to do what they're doing. I'm just saying by way of this guy, I had the opportunity to sit somewhere at a meeting yesterday and they don't care. They just stay out there, they doing their job like they're supposed to do. So if that's why I say there has to be that's another reason. That's what prompted me also to do this vlog. Memphis need healing ingredients immediately, because they're gonna stop these young men one way or the other. And you think about it, is it worth it? Is it worth going to jail for the rest of your life for being affiliated with a gang? Because they're gonna dismantle it. They're dismantling them now. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. Is it worth out there taking hits and stuff? You ain't getting away with nothing. Can you imagine that? You think you plotting hits and stuff, and the people listening to you, y'all. That's why I say it has to start within our community. It has to start inward and go outward. We got to deal with what goes on in our houses. Talk to your young African American men, because if you don't talk to them by next year, they're gonna be off of the street one way or the other. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I've enjoyed. I gotta run. Okay, I'll be glad when I finish up my project with them. I'm talking about this guy. And listen, I ain't working on no damn gang members' cases, so leave me alone. I don't even take cases like that. I don't want to be bothered. Okay. But I was just listening to a conversation yesterday. Okay. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.